If you could please stand for the playing of the national anthem by class of 2019 graduate, Caitlin Urango. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Please be seated. Good evening. My name is Rayane Risher, and I am the student body president.
And I am Sondra Nathan, your senior class president.
Welcome parents, relatives, faculty, board members, students, friends to the Santan Foothills graduation ceremony for the class of 2019. We are proud that you are here and appreciate your support over the past 12 years of our education.
I'm honored to introduce the members of the Florence Unified School Unified District Governing Board. President, Mrs. Denise Gunther. And board member, Mr. Steve Johnson. It's also my pleasure to introduce representatives of our district office, including Chris Knudsen, our superintendent, Dr. Adam Leckie, our assistant superintendent, and lastly, Dr. Kelly Smith, director of the curriculum and instruction. On behalf of the class of 2019, we would like to honor our teachers who have dedicated countless of hours to our education. Please join me in showing our appreciation to our Santan Foothills faculty. Teachers, thank you. I'd also like to thank our principal, Dr. Richard, and the administration of Santan Foothills High School for all of you done for us.
It is now my honor to introduce the valedictorian and salutatorian for the class of 2019. The valedictorian is the graduate who graduates first in our class, and the salutatorian graduates second in our class. Your valedictorian for the class of 2019 is Ariana Cleavenger. And your salutatorian for the class of 2019 is Trinity Engstrom. Chloe Walls, graduating third in our class, will now address the 2019 graduates.
Good evening, friends, family, teachers, administrators, and members of the board. Thank you for being here and joining us on this night of celebration. 4 years ago, we started out with bright eyes and the goal to get here on this stage tonight. However, through these short years, things have come at everyone from left and right field, throwing us off track. Sometimes that goal seemed unattainable and light years away. But with good and bad times, tears and laughs, we have made it here to walk across this stage, diploma in hand, a gleam in our eye, and now we're ready to move on. The little things, like sitting in the shade eating our 25-cent cookies and yelling about who is in whose seats, are soon going to be distant memories as we chase our dreams in this big old world. I remember going to every sporting event I could, every assembly, and every ceremony to see everyone thrive in what not only they were good at, but what they were passionate about. Our high school career has had its highlights, from Hannah, Skyline, and Ariana going to nationals for FBLA, Brandon McMahan becoming one of the top 4 linebackers in the state, and our baseball team, which started as a small group of boys that could hardly get enough people to try out and become a team that competed in the state playoffs, to growing up in our own little ways, like the majority of us getting jobs and starting on our own, learning to adult. I have loved seeing all of us grow into the people right here in front of me. Every stage of life has had its hardships, but for some of us, these past 4 years have been especially hard. We have all had our moments of self-doubt. But if high school has taught us one thing, it is the fact that we can do much more than what we had previously thought possible, that we can push our own limits to the breaking point to get to where we need to go. It has been so hard and taxing, putting in the hours, including detention and last-minute community service, finishing up those essays for our beloved English teachers, and finishing up straight engineering classes. But now all that energy we put into something that may have seemed useless is paying off, and here we are. We are reminded of our goal, to make a difference, to make a change. Even if it is just the slightest impact on just one person's life, we are on to bigger things in the world and to make the world a better place. Some of us will go on to be doctors or lawyers, some of us will fight fires or serve our country, and some of us will simply work a 9-to-5 to manage a department store. And so, I'm so sorry. Maybe throw in the occasional professional athlete, Lexi, Grace, and Therese. Congratulations, by the way. I am so excited to see where we are headed. Through every step of the way, we have had ourselves and each other to help and support one another. As Mr. Carbonell says, we have changed so much in the last 4 years, and in the next 4 years, we will change that much again. We have been there in different times of need, and I hope we continue to support and help each other through the next few years as we find our niches in the world. Moving on in our lives and graduating is one of the biggest milestones yet to come. Yes, it is a bittersweet farewell to a second home we have known so well for 4 years, but I know we are all ready to go on to bigger things and happier times. So congratulations, class of 2019, we did it, y'all.
Now, Ariana Cleavenger, our valedictorian, will address our graduation class.
Good evening, families, friends, teachers, and administrators. My name is Ariana Cleavenger, and I don't know if you guys know, but tonight's a pretty special night, because despite the class of 2019 being plagued with serious senioritis, it looks like we all showed up. So, woohoo! But seriously, I want to give a big congratulations to the class of 2019 for being here tonight. High school was hard. There were some bad grades, annoying classmates, a questionable amount of caffeine, and way too much homework. Like, come on, does the English department ever sleep? But despite all the odds, we managed to graduate. And just like everyone promised, the time flew by. 4 years ago, we walked onto the Santan Foothills campus and learned that this was a place for greatness. We were different then. We still had 3 years ahead of us, and we were at the bottom of the food chain. Many of us had cringy haircuts, terrible eyebrows, acted like true freshmen, and we hadn't really gotten to know Ms. Shores yet. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. But most importantly, as freshmen, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. I like to make the analogy that life is a lot like a jigsaw puzzle. And if we're getting specific, high school is a lot like a puzzle. When we were confused, shy freshmen, we were a class of disorganized pieces, each of us having our own random patterns and designs, and each of us looking for our place in the puzzle that is life. Like the uniqueness of each puzzle piece, we're all different, with different dreams and aspirations and goals. And it's a really confusing time because it's hard to see how everything is going to fit together and work out.
Standing alone, the pieces of a puzzle don't make much sense, so it comes as no surprise that we were missing the big picture, and many of us didn't find our purpose in ninth grade. But that's okay. You can't expect a bunch of 14 and 15-year-olds to have it all figured out, right? But what about sophomore year? I mean, things were really cooking now. Some of us were reaching the age of getting our permits or even getting our licenses, and not to mention, we were no longer freshmen. And in sophomore year, some of us had started to find our way. Certain pieces of the puzzle started clicking in place. As we figured out who our friend groups were, we started to get a hold of this whole waking up on time thing and understanding that grades actually matter. Many of us continued with sports and clubs and organizations. And maybe some of us got jobs and we began applying ourselves as bright-eyed young students with big dreams and big plans. So it was a pretty great year. Things still hadn't hit yet. And then junior year came, and we started complaining and losing sleep and falling behind, and sports and AP classes and our clubs and our fancy new job at that fast food place become overwhelming. And to top it all off, this questioning about our purpose in life kept coming up as adults and family friends began asking, what are you going to do after high school? Are you going to college? What's your major going to be? How are you going to pay for college? Are you moving out? Our teachers were cracking down, and maintaining our grades became a little harder. We started seeing more of those lovely pink academic defiance slips, and we had to come in more for tutoring. We were losing sleep and losing lunchtime, and our parents were always harping on us. And all at once, it became too much. And junior year became really hard. After all, it is the year right before you're all done, and this is the year when people start expecting you to have answers. Then, we went into senior year, and we all suffered from senioritis and wanting to be rebellious teens. We all wanted to move out and get things over with. We grinded to get our audit hours in and improve our grades, and make sure we weren't failing. And before we knew it, senior year was over. But somewhere along the way, we forgot to take a step back and try looking at that big picture that was so hard to see freshman year. Since ninth grade, we had made connections and found friends and determined that maybe we didn't want to be a doctor or the first astronaut in space anymore because we started growing up and changing our dreams and aspirations and goals. And overall, we started changing. In the midst of all this, we forgot about our parents waking us up in the mornings where it was really hard, or signing us into school because we didn't want to get swept. We forgot about them checking in on us and asking us how our days went. We forgot about our teachers, who wake up at every morning at God knows what time to be here before the gates open for students to plan lessons. We forgot about those times that we made our teachers stay late to retake that test. We took for granted the celebration and remediation program and academic defiance because we saw them as programs that were out to get us. But the reality is, our parents were constantly asking about our futures because they love us. And our teachers were hard on us because they care and they enjoy what they do. And our administrators created these academic programs because they wanted to see us succeed. There's no saying that it takes a village to raise a child, and this statement is true. No matter how independent or strong or intelligent you think you are, your life has probably been affected by a teacher, an administrator, a parent, a family member, or a friend. Graduates, we're at the end of the line. It's time to leave the metaphorical nest and flap your wings. And I want you all to truly soak this in. I sincerely hope that every one of you found a passion or interest in high school. For me, FBLA transformed me into the young woman that I am. I want you all to know that what you will accomplish in your life will be so much more rewarding if you have passion that drives you and a group of people who share this passion. Whether it's organizations, sports, or school, understand that your role as the greater part of something will always be more sweet and rewarding than if you are on your own. With that, never forget to be grateful for everyone who has helped you along the way, and know that you can't ever go back. Look to your left and look to your right, because this is going to be the last time you ever see the person you're sitting next to. Tonight will change every night and day for the rest of our lives, but never forget that it's okay to not have all the answers. Go out and try new things and learn what you truly want to do. It's all going to work out because as we go through life, the pieces of the puzzle start clicking into place. We begin to glimpse our purpose, and what once was a confusing puzzle to us suddenly becomes clear. However, your lives, your stories, are a million piece jigsaw puzzles made up of pieces in every color, size, and shape possible. A puzzle that will always have some missing pieces, as it takes a lifetime to complete. But by taking what you've gained from Santa and Foothills High School and your amazing teachers, families, friends, and administrators, I hope you can all step confidently into your futures. 4 years ago, we walked onto this school knowing it was a place for greatness. And tonight, we walk off this field to make the world a place for greatness. Thank you all so much of Class of 2019. I wish you the best of luck in the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Santan Foothills High School Band. Thank you, band. That was a great performance. The senior class would like to first thank our advisor, Mrs. Steidinger, and our class sponsors, Mr. Carbonneau and Mr. Weeks, for your guidance during this past year. We would also like to present Santan Foothills High School with the mural of the school fight song in the gym as our senior gift. Thank you. Family and friends, please join me in welcoming our principal, Dr. Tim Richard.
Welcome to Santan Foothills High School, everybody. Bienvenidos, padres de familia de habla España. Estamos muy orgullosos de los acontecimientos de sus estudiantes. En nombre de Santan Foothills High School, les deseo a sus hijos un brilloso y próspero futuro. What a beautiful night. I think this is probably the best weather I've ever had in about 17 years of doing these graduations. What a beautiful night. And you guys look great. Madam President, members of the board, the Santan Foothills High School class of 2019 have met the state and district requirements for graduation. All too often, I hear that our public schools are failing. We're told that charter schools and vouchers are the answer to a failing public school system. But then we have a great night like tonight, and I just don't feel that way. But it takes a little bit more than feelings. We need facts. So I got some facts together from one of my favorite researchers, Dr. Rick Dufour, that I'd like to share with you guys tonight. Nationally, last year, the high school graduation rate topped 80% for the first time in American history. We have more students taking more rigorous curriculum than ever before in the history of our country. 1 out of every 5 high school seniors graduated with college credit because they are pursuing such challenging curriculum. The percentage of students from low socioeconomic families has increased by 400% in terms of access to that same rigorous curriculum. We have been giving the National Assessment of Education Progress since the 1970s, and every time we have given that test, our scores have gone up from the previous years until they hit the highest scores ever in 2018. The TIMSS International Tests test students in math and science around the world. We score in the top 10 in math and science, with a score that far exceeds the international average. The Gallup poll has been polling parents for 40 years, asking them to grade their local school. If you looked at 5-year chunks of that data, the highest level of satisfaction ever has been in this past 5 years. The Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development has surveyed students on their perception of their relationships with their teachers, and American teachers had the highest percentage of student satisfaction of any teachers in the world. 86% of students said that teachers care about them and their well-being. 90% said that teachers treat them fairly. And 90% of students said that teachers are willing to give up their own time to give them extra help. And to give you a perspective, 90% of American students felt that their teachers would give them extra help and support. And only 28% of Japanese students felt the same way. So before I say another word, can we just stop? And would you please actually join me and rise in celebrating our very public students and teachers? Because of the 2015 school district's consolidation, this senior class will be the last group of students to graduate who can say that they began their high school career with one school district, Coolidge, and finished it with another school district, Florence. One of the reasons this school improved is because of the civic action by voters in our community. In 2015, you voted to approve the first ever consolidation between 2 districts. If you are graduating tonight, you benefited directly from the voters in our community voting to support public education. You also benefited when in 2017, our voters approved a $25 million bond to keep technology in the classrooms and to support student achievement. In the near future, you'll have another chance to support our public schools with your vote. Our schools need to continue to always feel like a safe place and a comfortable home away from home for every kid. It is time that we provide funding for social workers and a police officer on every single campus in the Florence Unified School District. Just like when 80% of the voters said yes to the consolidation that made your graduation possible tonight, I hope you will pay it forward and vote yes when it comes time to support our public schools. It is only because of you that Santan Foothills has become and will remain a place for greatness. To be a place for greatness, a school has to win in academics. I figured Who better to explain how our school is a place for greatness by winning in academics than some of the graduates themselves? I would like to draw your attention to the two screens on each side of the stage for one moment, please.
My name is Engstrom, and Foothills is a place for greatness because I took advanced business classes. I'm the first graduate of the AP Captain program, and next year I'm going to attend MAU and pursue a degree in fine arts. My favorite thing about STF is that it's a small school environment and there's clear structures in the classrooms. This was especially helpful in AP classes because it helped me develop a close-knit community and engage with my fellow classmates.
My name is Nicolas, and Sesate Foothills is a place for greatness. Over the past 4 years, I've watched the school change incredibly for the better. It's not only healthier, but stronger than it was since my freshman year. The education has improved to the point where teachers actually interact and build relationships with students, pushing them to go further beyond. The environment is inviting, people interact with one another, and the school has grown into a positive culture overall. Next year, I'll be studying at UAT for film and cinematography.
My name is Ariana, and Sesate Class High School is a place for greatness because our teachers focus on student engagement, and the school opens the doors of opportunity. This allowed me to get involved and build my social skills because during my time here, I was able to join organizations such as SDLA and HOSA. This has helped me transform as a leader and a young woman, and it has really helped prepare me for the next step in my life. So I'm really ready to apply everything that I've gained from my time here and translate that over to my time at ASU.
My name is Mariscal, and Sesate Class is a place for greatness because I am part of the medical program in Cabot. Being in Cabot is getting hands-on experience at a professional work environment. By attending Cabot for 2 years, I was able to attend and reach higher education that I didn't know I was capable of. After high school, I plan to become a medical assistant and study to become a nutritionist.
As you can see, our students won in academics this year, and this class of 2019 led the way. If academics is the mind of a school, then the arts and extracurricular programs are the soul of a school. And programs such as band, choir, student council, National Honor Society, our graduates won in the arts and extracurricular activities this school year. Once again, let's see what some of our graduates have to say.
My name is Rayane, and from being on student council and serving as your student body president, I know that Sesate Class is a place for greatness because of the positive school culture that student council works to promote every single day. Next year, I plan on attending ASU for a degree in digital culture and art and design.
My name is Collett, and Sesate Class is a place for greatness because I was a part of CARE. When I got to state plan for Foothills my freshman year, there was only 2 people in the band. This year we had 50 and made it to the state level.
My name is Saenz, and the Foothills Choir is a place for greatness because of the encouragement and positivity that has allowed fantastic relationships to form. Choir is a place we can let our compositional and musical talents shine with this welcoming feeling of passion and unity. As our humble, hardworking teacher says, we as a whole must learn to inspire and make wise decisions. I plan on going to U of A to get a degree in biochemistry so I can fulfill my dream of becoming a pharmacist.
My name is Imani, and Sesate Class is a place for greatness because I was given the opportunity to be the Secretary of the National Honor Society. NHS provides a chance for students to form bonds and help contribute to the community, and the friendships I made from joining are everlasting. After high school, I plan to pursue a career in geology at Northern Arizona University.
You know, 3 years ago, most of those programs that they just spoke about didn't exist at this school. The students have built this place, one brick at a time, leaving things better than how they found them for future student bodies. This will be one of the legacies of the class of 2019. Academics are the mind of the school, the arts are the soul of a school, and athletics are the heart of a school. This year, our students won in athletics. I'm excited for some of our graduates to share their stories of athletic achievement with you.
My name is McMahan, and Santan Foothills is a place for greatness because I was on the football team. Our team was over second place. Last season, we made the playoffs, and this year we beat our rival, Gilbert Christian, for the first time in school history, and we had a phenomenal homecoming game. Next year, I'm going to be playing college football and getting my mechanical engineering degree.
My name is Elizabeth Reinking, and Santan Foothills is a place for greatness because I was on the volleyball team. This year, we won our game on senior night, and being on the team is like having a second family. Next year, I'm going to go to the CAC and study forensic psychology.
My name is Sondra, and Santa Cruz is a place for greatness because I was a part of the Spirit Run program. One of my favorite memories that I will hold on to after I graduate is winning the first sports state championship at my school with my team, or should I say, with my family. We were a team that pushed and helped each other thrive. After I graduate, I plan on attending CAC and beginning my journey into studying hospitality management.
My name is AJ Curry for Santan Foothills High School, a place for greatness because I was on the right track. The coaching staff and the players are like that. Our team struggled over the last 4 years, but each year we improved. Last year we made it to regionals, and this year we made it to the state playoffs, and came second place in the Little League tournament. Next year I plan on attending GCU to become a teacher.
My name is Nicolas, and Sesate Class is a place for greatness because I was on the basketball team. Being on the team allowed me not only to grow as a player, but also for me valuable teammates. After high school, I plan on joining the team in a year to study to become a physician assistant and eventually be working as a manager.
My name is Brian Lopez, and Santa Cruz is a place for greatness because I was on the baseball team. My team is our brother's team. Last season we played in the state championship game. This year we finished second in the Joe Peru team. Next year I'm going to attend Universal Technical Institute and pursue a career as an automotive mechanic.
My name is Takai, and Santan Foothills High School is a place for greatness because I was a part of the soccer team. Being a part of the sport was evidently a perfect choice since it pushed me to be excellent in class in order to be fantastic on the field with my teammates. I plan on attending AHU to immerse myself in the career of mechanical engineering.
My name is Serrano, and Santan Foothills is a place for greatness because I was on the tennis team. We're more of a small sport at Santan Foothills, but it doesn't stop our greatness. Since we are such a small group, we know each other and push each other to go beyond the limit. This year, Yannick and I made it to the finals in Miami, but we didn't win, and I will never forget the memories that we shared. And after high school, I plan on going to CAC and majoring in architecture.
My name is Tristian, and Santa Cruz is a place for greatness because I was on the soccer team. I was able to make a strong connection with my teammates that is still going today. I will always remember getting my first red card ever on my senior night. So next year I plan to go to GCU and get my job.
The graduates in those videos, just like all of our graduates, have made use of their time here at Santan Foothills. And my final charge to you, each of you, as you go on in life, is to resist any siren songs of dependency and to be of use. I'd like to leave you in closing with a favorite poem that captures this idea. It is titled, "To Be of Use." The people I love the best jump into work head first, without dallying in the shallows, and swim off with shore strokes, almost out of sight. They seem to become natives of that element, the black, sleek heads of seals bouncing like half-submerged balls. I love people who harness themselves, an ox to a heavy cart, who pull like water buffalo with massive patience, who strain in the mud and the muck to move things forward, who do what has to be done again and again. I want to be with people who submerge in the task, who go in the fields to harvest and work in a row and pass the bags along, who are not parlor generals or field deserters, but move in a common rhythm. When the food must come in or the fire be put out. The work of the world is common as mud. Botched, it smears the hands, crumbles to dust. But the thing worth doing well done has a shape that satisfies clean and evident, Greek amorphous for wine or oil. Hopi vases that held corn are put in museums, but you know they were made to be used. The pitcher cries for water to carry, and a person for work that is real. Sabercats, go out into the world and do work that is real. God bless you and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Richard. We will now proceed with the awarding of diplomas.
Ariana Marie Cleavenger. The first AP Capstone Diploma candidate in the history of Pinal County, Trinity Jade Engstrom. Chloe Marie Walls. Imani Christina Taylor. Alexandra Sarah Nathan. Hannah Rose Kisvarde. Pavlo Andreevich Gusiev. Faith Marie Sego. Thomas Luciano Saenz. Brock Xavier Lapointe. Tristan Joseph Takai. Grace Yale Abatambi. Jesse Altanzul. Rebecca Marie Althoff. Natalia Andaloro. Cynthia Siklari Aranda Perez. Juan Becerra. Hunter Austin Braun. Angelo Colby Nathaniel Welna. Ryan Anthony Paul Berger. Brisa Carranza. Gloria Paula Chavarin. Hunter James Clark. Alexander Clausen. John Cohagen. Blake Philip Collett. Angel Coral Valenzuela. Isabel Cortez. Caitlin Marie Kraft. Esteban Hector Cruz. Alyssa Marie Decino. Destiny Ann DeVito. Carlissa Alicia Monet Dixon. Joseph Tyler Druick Fischel I. Kasaya Alicia Duran. Dylan Christopher Geronda. Brennan Gonzalez. Trevor Brandon Hall. Chase Hawkins. Isaac Hepper. Joshua Allen Hill. Michael Holmes. Dexter Monroe Hudson III. Caden Hussar. Tavion Devontae Jackson. Jeremy Lee James. Christian Jensen. Brady Johnson. Veronica Eve Johnson. Alexandro Juarez Castro. Marlene Leon. Cassidy Larson. Tatum Danielle Lilly. Jose Sebastian Serrano Lomberra. Bryant Alexander Lopez. Jared Ryan Lucero. McKenna Luna. Mario Abraham Mariscal Villa. Hannah Elizabeth Marquez. Derek Martinez Padilla. Jessica Martinez Padilla. Jordan McElroy. Jace McHaney. Trent Richard McKinney. Brandon McMahan. Amber Lynn Meadows. Carlos Mendeville Ramos. Jose Antonio Montero. Eric Munoz. Amanda Nardini. Nerida Susana Orellana Saravia. Christopher Michael Pena. Amberly Perrine. Takesha Phillips. Tori Sage Plowman. Cade Powell. Hannah Regina Ray. Elizabeth Joy Reinking. Rayane Jamie Risher. Alejandro Romero. Ashley Marie Sanchez. Kamaria Saenz Trotman. Jonathan Santana Galvan. Skyla Christine K. Santos. Mia Francisca Sesate. Lexi Subia. Therese Tato Akamba. Carrington Lene Thompson. Sydney Trickell. Caitlin Misty Urango. Yajane Vargas. Brianna Monique Vela. Alonso Aldon Vitolas. Timothy Stephen White. Michaelette Harley Danielle Winter. Emily Wolkowitz. Nicolas Zurita. Nathan Fountain. And Demetrius Wilson.
Please welcome our school board president, Ms. Denise Gunther.
Congratulations, class of 2019 graduates. Please stand. You may now move your tassel from the right to the left side of your cap, signifying that you have graduated. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of 2019.